G'day people, Sharon here. I'm going to be showing you today stuff about the FD206. It's Janome's most basic machine. Hope you get something out of it. This is Janome's FD206. It is what we would refer to as a WYSIWYG machine. What you see is what you get. There is a small, medium and large straight stitch. You cannot adjust this machine to be in between those particular lengths of stitch. That is what is available. Similarly, a small, medium and large zigzag. You cannot change either the width or the length of those stitches to be anything other than what they are. This is a blind hem stitch for stretch fabric, and this is a blind hem stitch for woven fabric. This is a 3-step zigzag. It goes stitch, 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 stitch. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It works for sewing elastic onto garments. Finally, this little one here is really a picket edge stitch. The entire machine has a metal chassis inside it. The covers are covers. They are not what is holding the machine together. They are covers. And it's a well-built little machine. However, it has a small motor and it has very few feed dogs to move fabric along. So don't expect that it is going to be making quilts. It may be able to in fact it will be able to do piecing where you're joining different colours together, but don't expect to do an entire quilt on it. This is the reverse key. And the only other thing that the machine does, essentially, is this bit here, which is a 4-step buttonhole. And whilst with considerable effort you can make a buttonhole with it, it is not particularly easy to make multiple buttonholes the same size. To get the thread in place for winding a bobbin, we need to go under here and around. Then we're following across with this broken line. It's indicating that the thread is going through this loop, or this circular piece. That's the tension for the bobbin winding. Come over here, a little hint for you. If you twist or double up the thread and then give it a twist, you'll get something that is much stiffer and easier to put through the holes in the bobbin. So we're going to put the thread from the inside of the bobbin to the outside, put it on there, hold it above and click it over. If your machine is turned on and you depress the foot pedal, you will start winding a bobbin. When you have got sufficient thread on the bobbin, you should cut this thread off close to the bobbin. Don't leave 1/4 of an inch or more hanging off. That's fraught with danger. You then need to continue to depress the foot pedal until you have your bobbin wound, or with sufficient thread on it for what you're intending to do. When you have enough thread, cut it off, move to the left and lift. And that is how you wind bobbins. If it's loose and lumpy and bumpy in there, then you need to do it again. You do not need to throw it out, just put this back on here and wind it onto another bobbin until you get a nice firm bobbin, and then we're ready to thread the next part of the machine. This, by the way, is a non-Janome bobbin, and I can usually tell by the feel of them because I've had a lot of experience with it. It's flat on the top. I don't know what brand of machine it comes from, but it's not a Janome one. If I put it on here and then try and click it across, it doesn't fit. This is why you need to get the proper bobbins for the machine. That just does not go on there so that I can click it down. This one is a Janome bobbin, and when I put it on there, it goes all the way down. I click it across, and this is in between the top and the bottom of the bobbin. I am now threading the top part of the machine. I always do blue for bobbins and the bottom, and I'm going to have red thread on the top so that you'll be able to see the differences in how things stitch out. My thread has gone on exactly the same way it did for the previous one. If I was using the same colour, I wouldn't have moved that. So it's coming out from underneath. Once again, I go over here, but this time I am following the unbroken line. So I'm going to go under there and out to the front and then down. It's a good idea to hold this while you go down to number 2 and back up to number 3. Whilst you're threading your machine, it is also a good idea to have this up at the top, because that means that the machine has completely finished a stitch and everything is able to be put in without catching on anything. Now I'm going to move the camera and we'll look at the next bit of the threading. Bring the thread from the take-up lever, which is currently at its highest point, down here above the needle. There's a little guide just there. Left side, if you're using a regular needle, you can have 2 threads on here and use the right side and the left side if you're using a twin needle. Now the needle threader, pull it down and forward. So I've got a finger behind it, pressing it into the eye of the needle. I go under that guide there, then across in front of the needle and up. As that has just gone back, there's the thread that I need to pull through. To put the bobbin in, move this across to the right, and if we have a look here, there's a picture that shows the thread coming off to the left hand side. So what I need to do is to put my bobbin in that way with the thread coming off to the left hand side. And as far as I'm concerned, that's because we're all practically perfect in every way, just like Mary Poppins. So we want to make it a letter P. Thread in here, finger on top, come across to about 4 o'clock and go all the way around. And the machine is now threaded. I can put my cover back in. Can hold my needle thread, turn the flywheel towards me, 1 whole revolution, make sure that the take-up lever has ended up right at the top again, and then I can pull my bobbin thread to the surface. Well, I hope you've learned something about the FD206, although it could have been helpful for people with other machines too. Just some basic stuff, but it gets you on your way. There'll be more in the next part.